REPORTEGY. Be informed today. Subscribe. And never miss a single thing.
On January 17, 2023, an ordinary cold snowy day in Alaska turned into an extremely rare and deadly attack. 24-year-old, Summer Myomick of St. Michael, Alaska, was walking with her 1-year-old son, Clyde Ongtowasruk, between the school and the Wales Clinic when they were attacked by the polar bear, according to Alaska State Troopers. According to family sources, Summer and Clyde had been living at the school, after facing recent electrical issues in their home. Reports of a polar bear attack started to ring into the state trooper's office around 2:30 p.m. on Tuesday, January 17. Calls indicated that a bear was chasing people and had attacked an adult female and a male child. According to school officials, the mauling occurred next to the entrance of Wales Kingikmiut School building, where the bear had tried to enter. It seems that Summer and Clyde exited the school and walked right into the claws of the approaching polar bear, because of the low visibility. The pair had no idea of what awaited them, amongst the heavy snow flurries. After being made aware of the attack, school employees and community members tried to scare the bear away with shovels, but were chased back into the school. Once inside, school officials were able to lock down the building, and spread word to the community of the bear attack. Wales is a tiny remote village of approximately 150 people, without a police department. The community responded, and a Wales resident eventually shot and killed the polar bear, as it continued to maul Myomick and her son. This deadly attack still comes as a shock to the community, since encounters with polar bears are so rare, and attacks are even rarer. According to the Wildlife Society, from 1870 to 2014 there were 73 documented attacks by wild polar bears among 5 polar bear range states, Canada, Greenland, Norway, Russia and United States, in which 20 resulted in human fatalities and 63 human injuries. There have been 3 known polar bear attacks in Alaska, in the last 35 years with 1 fatality. In 1990, a man was killed in the village of Point Lay, and in 1993, a bear burst through the window of an Air Force radar station, and mauled a mechanic, who survived. Photographer Clyde Ongtowasruk reported being stalked by a polar bear during the Inupiat whale hunt, near Utqiagvik, Alaska, in 2018. The bear was eventually shot and killed, as it charged the group. Even though the total number of documented polar bear attacks during that 144-year time span is relatively low, the increase in rate of frequency of these attacks is alarming. According to the Wildlife Society, 64% of all attacks since 1870 have occurred between 1960 and 2009, that's 47 attacks, and 20% between 2010 and 2014, that's 15 attacks in such a short span of time. The increasing likelihood of encountering a polar bear for Alaskan residents is strongly tied to global warming. Back in the 1980s, polar bears would only spend a couple of weeks on shore each summer. However, now many spend nearly 2 months ashore each year, as stated by Karen Rode, a USGS research wildlife biologist. Researchers state, as the ice continues to recede, bears are more likely to move inland, and encounter more humans, while looking for food. The Wildlife Society's study revealed that 61% of the polar bears involved in those attacks between 1870 and 2014 were below average body condition. Evidence also suggests that the polar bear responsible for the 2018 attack showed signs of malnutrition and possibly saw humans as a last resort for food. Samples have been taken from the polar bear responsible for Summer and Clyde's attack, for the state veterinarian to examine. A GoFundMe page has been set up by a family friend to help with Myomick and her son's funeral expenses. So what can be done? We are all aware that trying to limit climate change and stop global warming is the ultimate solution. However, in the meantime, the residents of these communities or anyone likely to encounter a polar bear need to remain safe. The following are some safety tips suggested by Polar Bears International, a team made up of conservationists, scientists, and volunteers, dedicated to conserving polar bears, and the sea ice they depend on. Bear spray? Although originally manufactured as a deterrent against brown and black bears, recent studies have shown it to be effective against polar bears. According to Polar Bears International, a research team conducted lab research on how well bear spray performed in Arctic conditions, including wind and cold, and found it to be effective in all conditions. Everyone should carry bear spray when in bear country. Cracker shells. These are 12-gauge cartridges, designed to scare and disperse birds and other mammals. These cartridges contain a projectile that explodes. It is important that you know the range of the cracker shells you're using. It seems that the standard range is 60 meters or 200 feet, while long ranges can be 150 meters or 450 feet. If used too close in range of the animal, it can be lethal. A black bear was found dead in Glacier National Park in 2009. Autopsy revealed that the cracker shell had entered the bear's body before exploding. Loud shouts. Loud noise, air horns, car horns, banging against pots and pans, anything loud enough that could possibly scare a bear. There are no well-known, established deterrent protocols for polar bears, because their encounters with humans are more of a recent phenomenon among the Arctic coastal communities. According to their website, Polar Bears International has been testing whether ground-based radar could be used to detect polar bears, serving as an early warning system that could alert communities or work sites to approaching bears. Research is underway to establish a standardized safety system based on available science to keep polar bears and people safe. Polar bears are the largest among the bear species. Mature male polar bears' average height ranges between 8 and 8.4 feet, with the average weight between 900 and 1,500 pounds, according to the Library of Congress. According to Guinness, the heaviest polar bear ever documented was shot in Alaska in 1960. It weighed 2,209 pounds and stood nearly 12 feet tall. It was on display at the 1962 Seattle World's Fair, as cited by PBS. Polar bears can run at an impressive speed of up to 25 miles per hour. For a comparison, Usain Bolt's speed, during his world record run in 2009, was 23.35 miles per hour. He later reached a top speed of 27.33 miles per hour in 2011. Polar bears may be the largest land predator, but their numbers are dwindling. Polar bears were listed as a threatened species in the US under the Endangered Species Act in May 2008. If you are interested in learning more about polar bears and the conservation efforts that are underway, please check out the description box below. With every tragedy, there are always lessons to learn. So be informed of your next destination in the Arctic. We hope you found this video informative. Please click the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. Remember to check back with us weekly for new videos. Thank you for watching.